Today we are working on Excel Expert Lesson 3, the third lesson, filtering pivot table data. So with the sales pivot table customizing workbook open, in the pivot table, click the column labels auto filter button, that's this button right here, and click clear filter from payment type. So click right here. Mark that as answered. Go to the next one. In the pivot table, Fields Task pane, which is over here, click and drag the payment type field from the columns to the rows. So we're going to click right here and drag from the columns to the rows. And then drag the sale type from rows to columns. Sale type from rows to columns. Cool how you can move things around. In the pivot table Fields Task pane, select the check boxes for the date and customer number fields to turn those on. Drag the date and customer number fields to the filters area. So date to the filters and customer number. So it says when you activated these two fields in the pivot table, Excel made a guess at how you wanted them added. The customer number field contains numeric data, so it was put in the values area, and the date field was put in the rows area. Because the date field contains date data, Excel also created a new month field and added it to the rows area as well. Remove both of those fields. Oh no. Oh, right there, customer number. So date and customer number. So click the down arrow button to the right of the months and click remove field. If the sum of customer number appears in the values area, click the down area and click remove field. Hint, you could have avoided having to remove these fields if you had dragged them directly into the filters area at step 2 instead of simply activating them. In the pivot table, click the drop down area to the far right of the customer number field right here, and then select customer 300 and then click OK. Pivot table only shows data for customer 300. Flight car rental, flight cruise. Alright, took me a little bit to find that, but found it. In the pivot table, click the drop down area button to the far right of the customer number field and select all and then click OK. Click the drop down button to the far right of the date field and then scroll down, select the 1st of April and then click OK. Mark that as answered. In the pivot table, click the drop down button to the far right of the date field and then select all. It's just showing you how to filter all these different ways. Drag the sale type field from the columns to the filters. In the pivot table Fields Task pane, click the sum of amount paid drop down values. Click the value field settings, select count, and then click OK. The completed pivot table book now looks similar to the following. And you see that ours looks similar to that. Mark that as answered. submit, submit. So this completes filtering pivot table data.